So it's Watches and Wonders day 2, but we are still covering things from yesterday because everyone just flopped their releases out on the table like yesterday.
And this video might not even be released.
And
on
yeah,
day 2.
This video is not going to be released on day 2. It's probably going to be released on like day 4. So,
or 5 or 6.
Or 5 or 6. So it's all a bit of a mess, but we are here to talk about Bremont. And before we do, remember guys, I'm not a watch expert. I'm just a watch nerd. So if I get something wrong or you just want to chat, pop down into the comments. And once you're down there, why not like, subscribe, ding that bell icon so you never miss another video, and maybe consider becoming a channel member. So Henley-on-Thames, British watch brand, Bremont. It's their first year showcasing at Watches and Wonders, and it's their first time at any trade show in like 10 years since they showed at a glorified tent at Baselworld. This is also a major thing because Davide Serrato, the ex-CEO of Tudor, has now taken over Bremont away from Nick and Giles English. And things have taken a bit of a turn at Bremont, shall we say. It's very, very different. So, number 1, new logo. New logo. So, the new logo, Bremont says, takes inspiration from their aviation roots, resembling a set of propellers, apparently. Not sure how, because if you compare the old logo, where it was just propellers, against the new logo, where it's essentially a compass. So it's a compass which is also apparently bringing in all the adventure-y aspects of the new watches, and it's trying to encompass the whole collection. So it's altitude, Supermarine, Terra Nova. And apparently this new logo also looks like a Union flag to sort of tie in their Britishness. I just think it looks like a overcomplicated Stone Island logo. All the roadmen can wear Bremonts to match their Stone Island jackets. How does that sound, Terry?
Bring back the propellers, I said.
Bring back the propellers. Yeah, the propellers, I liked that logo.
I liked their logo. There was nothing wrong with their logo.
One good thing I would say that this does speak to is Bremont is not going to trade off its mission to be the first British watch brand to manufacture industrial quantities in the UK. They're still loyal to that mission, which is really, really good. What is new is the new Terra Nova collection from Bremont. One thing I have to say about this collection before I talk about it, if you go on Bremont's website and look under movement, it just says automatic 50-hour power reserve. And the reason why they're not telling you what movement is in it is because they're using all Sellita movements. So every single one is an off-the-shelf, very cheap Swiss movement. And what's also significant about the Terra Nova movement is it is both bringing down and pushing up the lower boundary and the upper boundary of Bremont's watches. So the entry level for Bremont's watches is now 39 millimeter. Let me have a look. 38 millimeter Terra Nova. It's a two-hand 38 mil Terra Nova watch with a 38-hour power reserve, 100 meters water resistance. And if you want it on the leather strap, it is £2,500. On a steel bracelet, it's going to be £2,750. Honestly, the specs do not inspire me. A Sellita movement for that amount of money is pushing it. I would have preferred an ETA. I think an ETA would be fine. And 38 hours of power reserve, that's not. What is good though is, for this money, you are getting 904L steel, which is the same as a Rolex. Also, the numerals look really cool. So, Bremont's always had a very, very set design language, and they're moving away from that, rightly or wrongly. I'm not a big fan of the new direction, but these new hour markers and stuff look really cool on the Terra Nova, and they're really, really nicely loomed, and they look really, really cool. What I'm not a fan of on these is a couple things. So I like the new cases. I think they look really cool, but they're falling foul of looking too much like a Fears Brunswick or a Farah Mansfield or Stanhope or something, in that they are two other British watch brands that just do a lot of cushion cases, and I don't want Bremont to fall into that trap. What I also don't like is the look of the new logo on the dial, and also there's a lot of text, and it's very large text, and the logo is too close to the 12 indice. So I don't mind these, but you can definitely tell it's a V1 in terms of public perception. They need to rebalance the dial slightly, but I don't mind it. As well as a 38mm Terra Nova 2-hand, they are doing a 3-hand with a date 40.5mm Terra Nova, which I'll tell you the price of it on a bracelet. It's £2,950. It also has that same 38-hour power reserve, which is not very good. It's one of my big issues that I take with the Breitling Avenger collection, and my Breitling 38-hour power reserve, not ideal. But there are some more watches in this collection as well, such as the 42.5mm chronograph. So it's a chronograph with a compass bezel. Seems odd when it comes to functionality. Again, using 904L steel, 56-hour power reserve. So finally, they've upped the power reserve, and you can get it on either steel, you can get it on a brown leather strap, or you can get it on like a woven fabric strap. And this looks quite nice. They've solved a lot of the balancing issues, I think, but then it's also very expensive for £4,950. And again, that's a Sellita movement powered automatic. Then they also have the 40.5mm turning bezel Terra Nova. It's a 2-hander rather, with a small seconds complication, a date, and then a power reserve. Again, 38-hour power reserve, so you need a power reserve on that, so you know when your watch is going to die. And it's just a very expensive collection for what it is. The power reserve is £3,700. I'm not that impressed. I was really excited for this. I predicted this, that Bremont would have a field watch collection, and they've just not inspired me. What is good is they're a lot thinner. They've brought down those case sizes a little bit, so they're going to be a lot more wearable, but I want to get my hands on them. I don't want to pass judgment until I play with one, get my hands on it, see it in person, because there's so many watches I've found really uninspiring until I've got my hands on it, but I'm not finding it very promising from first look. That's going to be my honest first opinion, but I'm not writing them off. There are many aspects of these I really like. I really like the case back, for example, and I like that they're bringing down the entry price into Bremont's collection. That's what they need to do. It's competing against those Longines and Tag Heuers rather than those Breitlings and stuff, which Bremont's always been a really tricky prospect against sort of Tudor and Breitling. Against Longines and everything though, I think Bremont becomes a much easier sort of prospect to handle. And that brings us to the second part of Bremont's release. Again, we've talked about Terra Nova. Not wholly positive, but I think it's quite promising. It shows a really cool new design language. Not for me at the moment, but I want to see where they take it. But then we've got the Supermarine. The Supermarine I've traditionally really liked. For example, we talked about the Supermarine 302, which was sort of a really cool blue and green bezel GMT. Really, really cool. What did we call it? The something juice? The Shamrock juice? Now Bremont have also released a new Supermarine line. So they've got the Supermarine 300M and the Supermarine 300M date. If you want it on a bracelet, then you can get one non-date for £3,200. Not cheap. And if you want a date one, it's £3,450. We'll talk about the date one first. It's a 50-hour power reserve, again 904L steel. These are 40mm watches, and there's some cool things about them. So, actually, is there any cool things? So there is some cool things about them. For example, very greatly redesigned. New bracelet, looks very similar to the Chronomat bracelet with the sort of many tubes almost. I'm not a big fan of it, but one thing that the bracelet does do well is a new clasp with micro adjust. We're getting on the fly micro adjust. That is a huge step in the right direction. So massive win for Bremont there. Well done, thank you. But now I've got to talk about the things I don't like. So I much prefer the styling of the 300M than I do to the 300M date. I think the Arabic numerals at 3, 6 and 9 look so much better. But the thing is, the logo and all the text, so I'm thinking about how to describe this. The indice at 12 is a big arrow, which has pushed the logo and everything down so much. And everything looks squished into the middle of the dial. I was talking about this with Terry. Everything looks squished. So it looks like the watch is just going like this now. Yeah, everything's very much in the middle of the dial, especially when it comes to that date version, because it's also got the indices at 9 and 6, which are sort of batons, but they're tapered batons pointing towards the middle of the dial. So it's just accentuating the...
With the new logo, I think it looks like a cheap microgram watch.
Yeah. Oh my god, I didn't even realise this. They're also doing a Supermarine with like some gold aspects on it. Yeah, rose gold bezel and crown for £5,450. Jeez. That's a lot. Yeah, £5,500 for, yeah, not sure that's gonna sell very well. But if you want one of these watches, the non-date you can get in blue or green, the date you can get in black or sort of brownie with the gold for £3,500 to £5,500. Not impressed by that gold one, honestly. It's very Chronomat-esque with that bracelet, and yeah, let's concentrate on the good things. I love to see them trying new things. I love the micro adjust, but they've got some way to go with the design. Pricing seems good. I think they need to Salita movement's a bit disappointing. I'm trying to be balanced here. Ooh, it's a bit rough. I think that their new old logo's completely out now. If you go onto Bremont's website, it's just the new logo everywhere, except on what is essentially all now legacy product, which is a real shame. What do you guys think? Go down into the comments, let us know. I've had some strong thoughts here. The logo does look nice on the crown, actually. It looks really nice on the crown, the new logo. Looks really cool. I think that's where I should stay. But if you love these watches, let us know. If you hate them, let us know. Whilst you're down there, why not subscribe? Ding that bell icon so you never miss another video. And thank you very much to our channel members on screen just then. They're amazing. And to the rest of you, guys and girls, watch yourselves.